Welcome to the Cougar Cast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and this is the place to get all the information on what's going on inside the athletic department at IU Kokomo. And joining us for today's show once again is one of the two assistant athletic directors at IU Kokomo, and a man that not only got promoted last week, but graduated this week is Grant Patterson. Grant, congratulations on your graduation from IU Kokomo.
Thank you so much, Jay. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming, but it's finally done. I told my parents last night while we were sitting there eating dinner, I was like, it's honestly a great feeling to know that I never, ever have to do another piece of homework if I don't want to in my life. Well, I do plan on getting my master's in a year or so, but man, it's kind of enticing not having to do another bit of homework in my life, but I do want to advance myself further in their career, so it'll probably be something I do.
You know, I was looking on the social media on the day of your graduation, and IU Kokomo in the morning said, hey, things might get changed due to weather. And I don't think they moved the time of the ceremony, but they shortened it to, I believe, about a 45-minute ceremony. And I know you kids were out there happy that it was a shorter than expected ceremony.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what to expect. One of my best friends, Easton Dupay, he graduated last year, kind of told me that, I don't think he ever really told me the exact time that it lasted.
Yeah.
And I've never been to an IUK graduation ceremony, so I didn't know what to expect. But definitely when IU's president, Pamela Witten, told us that it was going to be a shortened ceremony, after the ceremony started, that was a nice welcome surprise. And yeah, it's hard to believe it even lasted 45 minutes. It didn't seem like that. They went through the over 600 graduates pretty quickly. It was impressive. That's
amazing. That's always fun. You've mentioned that there will be a time when you go back to school, probably to get your master's. How soon do you think it's going to happen?
I think I'll take a year off. I was talking to Nolan Talley, one of our assistant coaches. He's going to, actually some good news, he's going to stick around and be an assistant for us in the future. I was talking to him, trying to convince him, take a year off, and then let's not necessarily go together because it'll be online, but let's enroll in Wayne State up in Detroit. Let's enroll in their sports administration master's program, and it's a program that you can do at your own pace. You can do it as quickly as you want or as slowly as you want, and that's something that I plan on doing once I get the grasp of everything that my new role entails. I feel like I'll definitely go back come next August or so and start my master's.
You know, shortly after that promotion last week, Grant had the opportunity to go to
Chillicothe.
Thank you. I was trying to get him to say it because I didn't want to do it this time. Ohio to watch the River States Conference Championships on the baseball side of things. IU Kokomo, their experience in that tournament was a little interesting, and I was following along on the socials. Grant was there. Grant, what went down for IUK that week?
Man, it was a long week. Got off to to be honest, initially got off to a shaky start. Got down 7-0 in game one, but won the first two games of the weekend to put ourselves in prime position. Ultimately came up short. A little recap, fell behind 7-0 to Oakland City and Coach Andy Lasher, and they're a dynamite program with 3 strong starting pitchers and then guys that can hit the ball, spray the ball all over the place. And they put up 7 runs in the first 2 innings. Can't remember exactly what the final score was. I want to say 11-9 we ended up winning, but I believe they were up 7-4 on us, and we scored 7 unanswered runs to complete the comeback and win by 2. So it was unbelievable. A couple big-time home runs, one by Jacob Medvesic, and I had a couple comments in the postgame tweet. I went with Cardiac Cougars. I think a lot of people like that, and it perfectly entailed and described what happened in that game. Put ourselves in a position to take on number 1 seed Point Park the next day, Friday night, and what a game that was. I think we get into the 4th inning. We led throughout. I'm not sure that Point Park ever tied the game. Maybe I think they got within 1 run, but we jumped on them early, took a lead into about an hour and 25-minute rain delay. Come back after that in a game that finishes well beyond midnight. I think it finished around 12:30, and what a performance by our squad. I know we had at least 14 Ks. 14 strikeouts as a pitching staff. I can't remember if it was 14 or 16, but this is a Point Park squad that's pretty much unbelievable in what they accomplished this past weekend. I'll touch on that in a bit. And 14 or 16 strikeouts, 3 different relievers stepped in and immediately struck out the first 2 batters they faced to get us out of jams. And I can't imagine the amount of runners that Point Park stranded in scoring position. And that's just a testament to our relievers and what they were able to do in pressure situations as soon as they stepped foot on the mound into a close ball game. So they got the job done against Point Park, and then We were supposed to play Saturday night. Rain, more weather forced our game to be moved to Sunday, which you weren't big fans of all the way around. From Drew and our coaching staff to me there as our assistant AD, I weren't happy with how it was handled, but it was handled that way. So we played Point Park Sunday. All we needed to do was win one of these two games against Point Park to clinch the program's first NAIA tournament bid. And we would have had a spot in the championship game against IU Southeast. But Point Park, man, best offense in the league, one of the best offenses in the nation. They can swing it from 1 through 9 in that order, and they've got some arms that they're not scared to throw 140 pitches. That's exactly what they did. Ramon Rodriguez threw a dynamite game for them in game 1 against us Sunday morning, threw a complete game. Don't remember the final score. I think it may have been 11-1. Then we bounced back and played game 2. Immediately dropped that 14-3. Just like I said, their offense is unreal.
Yeah.
And that concluded the season, or so we think. It would be a bit of a shock if we get an at-large bid Wednesday evening, but I think we're deserving of it. I just don't think we'll get it. But yeah, into an amazing season, into some amazing seniors' career. It's just an unfortunate way to go out, but Point Park did the unthinkable and won a third game in one day. You almost never play 3 baseball games in one day. They came back at 7:30 Sunday night and came from behind to beat IU Southeast in the championship game. They scored 3 or 4 runs in the top of I think it may have been 5 runs, a good chunk of runs in the top of the 9th inning to beat IU Southeast and win the River States Conference Championship.
So I have a question. I'm going to go somewhere here in a second back to baseball, but I have a question. I don't know anybody in the RSC department, athletic department, that makes the decisions. My assumption, without even looking at the schedule, was that the championship game would have been on Monday.
That was the plan going into Sunday, was the championship game to be on Monday. If we would have beat IU Southeast in game 2, the championship game would have been on Monday. It was left up to the coaches at that point. So IU Southeast also had graduation on Monday.
Ooh,
so that played a little bit of a factor, but that wasn't as big of a factor. They weren't going to force Point Park to play. But Point Park's coach, Lauren Torres, he knew his guys were hot, and he thought they had it in them, and they obviously did. So he rolled the dice, and his guys continued to produce in 27 innings of baseball.
That's insane.
In one day.
That's insane. I was talking to Brent Martin when he was on the show.
Yeah.
And he said that the golfers will play 2 rounds in a day. And I'm like, 2 rounds? Bro, that's insane.
When you're walking, that's miserable.
And then 3 full games. It's not just fielding or not just hitting. It's all of that. Game after game after game. I can only imagine how tired all the athletes were in that championship game, but also how exhausted. You were able to see how exhausted the Cougars were after that doubleheader was complete.
Oh, yeah. And not just the Cougars. It's a long week on everybody.
Yeah.
And I've told Jay when I got here today, I'm still catching up on sleep from the 4 days there in Chillicothe, and it was tough to stay awake for the 4-hour drive home from Chillicothe Sunday evening after that doubleheader, especially when you have to say goodbye to 13 seniors who have done a lot for this program and put us in this the position to succeed that we were in this weekend. So it was a tough goodbyes all the way around for me and the athletic department as an administrator, for obviously our coaching staff and the seniors and teammates that they're leaving behind. But couldn't be more proud of where we left off this season, and I know that the future is so bright because we returned so many contributors that contributed greatly this year, but also a good class of incoming freshmen and transfers.
You know, in the midst of all that week, and as Grant was gone in
Chillicothe.
Thank you.
Ohio.
So good.
I'm pretty sure there's a Chillicothe in Illinois, so I got to throw in the Ohio as well.
Oh, man, he's so good at that. I'm not going to try to do it. But in the midst of that whole entire week, the ups, the downs, the late night, the doubleheader on Sunday, shout out and congratulations to head coach of the Cougars baseball team, Mr. Drew Brantley. Drew won his 100th game as being the Cougars head coach of the baseball team. Also this season was the first time a team that Drew has led at IUK has won over 30 games. And I know I've been trying to leave this stuff up to Grant to go over all this stuff, but I got to stop here quickly and say, Drew, congratulations. I said it on Twitter. I'm saying it here on the show. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment in a short period of time as you being the head baseball coach at IUK. And I'm looking forward to getting you back here on the show, but also looking forward to seeing what this baseball program does under your leadership over the next few years and hopefully for a long period of time as Drew is leading the baseball team. Now, you've known Drew longer than I have. I've only known him for about a school year, basically.
Yeah.
What have you seen from Drew that makes him so successful with the team?
I think just relentlessness. Like, they're going to compete no matter what, no matter what situation is thrown their way. And I think that's just proof. I mean, he's only in he just completed his third full season at IU Kokomo as the head coach, 86 wins in those 3 seasons at IUK, and then 14 when he stepped into an interim head coaching role at D3 Anderson University, his alma mater, a few years before he started at IUK. And it's just his work ethic, and it feeds over into his athletes. And I think early on in his career at IUK, it took some of the athletes, because he's not recruiting those guys. He steps into teams that were already there.
Yeah.
But these guys really bought into what he had to do and what he had to say and teach and coach them. Just his way of coaching, his style of baseball, and it was pretty much obvious proof that they did that this year.
Yeah.
And as a result, he reaches 100 wins, and he'll start next season looking to build upon that number.
He will. Let's look ahead. In a couple weeks will be the outdoor track and field season. It'll come to an end, but it'll happen not too far from Kokomo in Marion, Indiana, where the NAIA Outdoor Track and Field Championships will be held. And I'm excited it's local.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited there's more athletes that can qualify for the meet. There have been numerous already we've documented here on the show that have already qualified for that meet. And I got word from you, Grant, that another guy, actually a guy who competed in the indoor nationals, is going to be competing in the outdoor meet too.
And most of all, he's a local product, a Kokomo native just like myself, a Kokomo Wildcat grad. And I say Wildcat, that's with a K. Very proud of that. I'm not sure what year he graduated. It would have been either 19 or 20, I believe. But got word from Josh Colvin that this past week, I'm assuming at the Billy Hayes Invitational hosted by Indiana University, so a Division I meet, he goes down there, Julian does, and hits the NAIAB standard in the 400-meter hurdles. And it's just we've said it multiple times about Julian. It's a testament to his work ethic. He didn't plan on being a student athlete when he went to college. He went over to Ohio and Ohio University, I believe, in Athens, Ohio, and then came back here for opportunity to compete for us, and he's taken full advantage of that after clinching his first NAIA appearance in the indoor season. He's going to do the same, and he's going to compete close to home. So I'm sure he's excited about that and the opportunity to have a bunch of family members in attendance, considering Marion's just a stone's throw away.
Now, I do believe there's one more, as Josh Colvin called it, last chance meets of the season. I say meets plural, but there's one more last chance meet that is this week. Grant will let you know about the location. I doubt it is Chillicothe. I doubt they're going to Ohio. I was trying to get you to say it again, but you missed the cue.
Not going to Chillicothe. They will go to. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the city. I think it's St. Francis of Illinois. I believe it may be in Joliet. Not 100% sure, but it's a Friday Saturday meet, and it's literally titled Fighting Chance Meet, something like that. So it's literally in place on the schedule. I'm assuming one of the last NAIA meets of the season, and it's legitimately in place just to give more student athletes and individuals a chance to punch their ticket to outdoor nationals.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no team score kept. It's literally a chance for more individuals. And we had one that just missed out this week. It's hard to believe that you can miss out on a standard to qualify for nationals by 2 centimeters. But Josh let us know that Kale Kotkamp, a senior that just graduated yesterday alongside me, he missed the javelin mark by 2 centimeters. So I'm assuming he's going to come out hungry this week, especially after earning his degree. All of his focus is going to be on the javelin and reaching that mark. So I'm excited to see what Kale and the other Cougars can accomplish this week at the Fighting Chance meet. And hopefully we get word that we add on to those student athletes who have already qualified.
Grant, I am hoping hard that next week's show and the show after that, is we'll probably have to split this up into a couple weeks.
Right.
I'm not looking forward to Grant not being here, but I am looking forward to getting some more athletes, talented athletes on the track and field teams, men's and women's, inside the studio to record more Cougar Cast. Because in the indoor season, we were fortunate to have, I think, 7 athletes.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was 7 athletes that came in. We got to highlight them before they went off to South Dakota.
Yep.
South Dakota, got that correct, to compete in the indoor national track and field meet. Well, Josh Colvin and I have already been talking about setting it up to do that again for the outdoor meet and maybe get some track and field assistant coaches. Maybe if Josh Colvin hasn't talked to you about that, you're hearing about it now. But I'm looking forward to that, Grant, being able to talk to Sydney Duncan again,
Yep.
Emma Byram, Hannah Wells again. She was on the show before that time period. Julian Wallace, Ethan Carmine, Nick Anders. Trying to remember names, guys.
Doing a great job.
Hopefully, because Nick Anders and Ethan Carmine realized when they were here, I had to sit down here at this table and ask them, which one are you? After asking them 3 or 4 times previously, and I said, oh, this one has glasses.
Not brothers. Ethan Carmine's brother did used to be on the team as of last year.
He said that.
But they look fairly similar.
Yes.
So I don't blame you there.
It was so tough. And then eventually I was like, okay, Maddie Dotlich and then Sydney Duncan. Like, I can figure that out.
Right.
And then others, I was like, who is that? I was like, it was so weird. I see pictures, man, when they're right in your face. I'm like, it's a little crazy.
I think we have a similar number next week. I think we got to be at 5, 6, or 7. I'm not going to put Jay or myself on the spot. We're both beat, need some more sleep, but yeah, I think we should have 6 or 7 qualifiers, what we're at right now, and hopefully we build upon that number, as I said.
And I will say, for those of you that were here the last time we did this, we did a little goofy things at the end of those conversations. They'll probably happen again. I don't know exactly the topic that'll be thrown your way at that point in time, but be ready for not a karaoke conversation. Did that already previously. We didn't do it with Grant, though. And this was not planned, Grant. It's just on the top of my head.
Yeah.
So the track and field team with the South Dakota for the indoor meet. We're going to close the show with this.
Yep.
And I was asking just about almost everybody, because one person said, hey, if we're on a long car ride, I would like to do karaoke. So I was like, cool. Next person came up. What would your karaoke song be? And then everybody went through it. What would your karaoke song be?
Man, this song is fresh on my mind, and it's a song that I haven't listened to in a while. I'm a huge country music guy, same with classic rock, but the home run song this past week in Chillicothe was Gone by Montgomery Gentry, and it go gone like a freight train, gone like yesterday. And man, I added that to the playlist immediately, forgot all about the song. I promise I could sing it perfectly fine in karaoke. I mean, the voice wouldn't be good, but I would remember the words, wouldn't need the screen. It's just an awesome song altogether, and I'm looking forward to adding it to be our home run song at IU Kokomo next year. So I got to go with Gone by Montgomery Gentry.
I'm not even going to wait for Grant to kind of just poke me to say what the song would be. And this one might be a little surprising. It's just one that I abnormally have sung a lot over the past couple of years. Not sure why. Talk to my wife. She'll understand. Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, that's an awesome one.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I don't even know. Like, I like country music. Like, I probably listen to country music more than you would think. But I'm like, this song of all things, now I'm singing it. And back when I lived in Indianapolis, I was out somewhere driving around, literally singing that song over and over and over. It's a little, wasn't expected. I see the look on his face.
Yeah,
but
it's an awesome song though, so I'm not mad about it one bit.
Gabe, I know you don't have a microphone right now. I wish we had a video camera on you or a camera on you, because we wanted to see that on here. If you had a song, Gabe, that you would do karaoke to, just blurt it out to us, and I'll say it over the mic. See? He said Tennessee Whiskey, if you could not hear that.
Chris Stapleton he produces karaoke type songs.
Hey, and he did a pretty good job singing the national anthem.
Yeah, he did.
As well.
And I'm not even going to try and think of other songs that he sings at this point. I could use some sleep before I do that, but we'll just leave it at that. Chris Stapleton has a number of karaoke type songs.
Some of you guys have been watching us on the socials at the Kokomo Post on Instagram and the Kokomo Post Sports on the Facebook, and have seen some of our clips that we've been doing for different shows. I didn't tell Gabe to clip that part of the show, the karaoke portion. I'm saying it now because I'll probably do that. And be on the lookout at the Kokomo Post on the Instagram and the Kokomo Post Sports on the Facebook to see more clips from the show. I don't know what's going to come out. I have no idea. I don't normally prompt Gabe to clip certain things. I've done it once, and it actually went on the Instagram and actually helped a coach of a basketball team win a weekly award. But Grant, you never know, man, what's going to come out of this show, out of my mouth. Didn't think we were going to go this long, but here we are once again going about 20 minutes, and we can go 20 more, but we're not going to.
Yeah, I agree. It's easy to talk about sports, especially IU Kokomo sports and all the great things that are going on. We now only have one program going on to complete the 2023-2024 season. I say one, but both men's and women's outdoor track and field, and I'm fully confident that they'll finish the season strong, and hopefully we'll have some All-Americans at outdoor nationals the same way we had some at indoor nationals.
And hopefully, Not just one All-American, multiple All-Americans. Because as I say all the time, there's a lot of exciting things going on at IUK, and these athletes are amazing, and there's multiple. It's great. Grant, quickly, what's the website everybody can use and can go to stay up to date on what's going on at IUK Athletics?
Yeah, it's super simple. IUKCougars.com. All you got to remember is the name of our university and our mascot. So IUKCougars.com. You can check out every single one of our 15 varsity sports that we have, including esports. Got a tab for them as well. You can read articles, stay up to date with results. You can click on tabs to see results from the whole meet, not just our team. We've got everything you can ask for and more. So head on over to IUKCougars.com to stay up to date.
I really appreciate Grant Patterson, an IUK graduate, for coming on the show. He is one of the 2 assistant athletic directors at IUK. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. Guys, this has been the Cougar Cast. We'll see you next time.